sex and sexuality, what's going on? It never occurred to me, I have to tell you, it never occurred to me that I would have to talk to my children about cohabiting. Now, it's like, and I don't, no judgment whatsoever, but I mean, cohabiting, nobody cohabited. As a matter of fact, I remember driving down Route 436 one time, and we had the station wagon with no safety belts in the way back, but the kids are sitting there. That was before we got safe, I guess. And one little one says to the other, "Mom, how do we get bird babies?" And someone else interrupted, and they said, "Well, first they have to find a bird priest." And I said, "Oh, all right, good. I don't have to worry about anything there, right?" She was the first one to cohabit in the family out of 4. So, you know, it was like, but we never talked about it. We didn't know it would be an issue. And and kids in the next generation, they never thought of it as a simple behavior like we would have back in the 50s. Oh, they're living together. They really thought, number one, as marriage preparation, and number two, as an economic solution. All right? So again, the whole world shifted, and I didn't even know. All right? So there, what you don't say and what you don't do is very important. And then finally, this is a killer, folks. Finally, you have society. And so that's the media as well. Media and peers. And all I can say is good luck. It's a tricky world out there. When I came in, I brought some books with me. And I was just kind of passing them out to the kids saying, well, see if you can find anything interesting in here and interesting in here. And even the picture books they weren't interested in. But I pulled out one of these. I'll take that. I'll read that. Well, this is it, folks. This is what they want. Oh, this is the family therapist tells all. Well, therapists don't tell all right? This is a very big lie. And that whole family situation is not, like, oh my goodness, really? We don't have to go there. But do you see how you're battling that? The other piece I like to talk about is the show Friends. Do y'all know about that show Friends? I thought that was funny. And then I started really watching and paying attention. And all of these beautiful, lovely people. I mean, they're attractive people. They've got dates and they've got jobs. And they're all talking about pornography and watching pornography on television and making pornography a normalized thing. And I thought, oh my gosh, and I don't mean to be dumb, but do people actually just watch pornography like that? Young people that have lives? Yes, they do. Now as a therapist, I see the damages that it's caused. And now I have to address it in our marriage preparation programs because it's incredibly addictive. And as much as the internet brings a lot of good things, it brings a lot of not so good things and even dangerous things. So we have to pay attention to that, right? So this is the family curriculum. So this is how you pass on our faith traditions. By what we say, by what we do, what we don't say or do, and dealing with the media, all right? And then finally we have the fourth piece, and that is, not the fourth, not the final, but what makes the Catholic? What makes us Catholic? And I like to pick on 3 things. I always like to promote different books and stuff, and I know you can get them on the internet. How many of you have Kindles? I still can't quite do it. I get a book every once in a while. But I like this because I like to pick it up. I like to write in it. I like to make notes and so forth. I'm still kind of a hard copy person. But this is a great book by Tom Grooms out of, he's from Boston College, so I am too. My husband, you can tell, he still pots the hat. But it's good. What makes us Catholic? Just 3 points. Our Catholic faith tradition gives us a positive anthropology. And I like that phrase because it's kind of a quarter word. It makes me sound smart, and that when I'm feeling smart, people will listen to me more. But a positive anthropology means we assume good. And boy, have we lost that. We assume good about other people. So that means that if you're driving down I-4 and someone cuts you off, guess what? You have to assume that he is in a rush for a very good reason, and we're not going to send any obscene gestures his way, right? But that's our whole model. We assume good about other people. I recently did a workshop for some ushers at an unnamed parish because they were not terribly welcoming. And I told them, wait a second.
You're a Catholic. You're supposed to be assuming good. So as a little activity, I said, tell me about those rotten people that show up 7 minutes late for Mass. Well, I filled up my flip chart very quickly with all of these. They're lazy, they didn't do this, they couldn't find that, they're irresponsible, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, okay, all right, take a deep breath, stretch out, get rid of all of that tension and worry. I need to tell you something. And they said, what? And I said, that person's mother just died. They're just as quiet as you are right now. And they stopped. And I said, now let's stop and think. See, because what we did was we put our expectations on those people that were 10 minutes late. And we have no business doing that. We're Catholics. We assume good. We're supposed to be welcoming, whether they're 10 minutes late or 10 minutes early. You see how that makes a difference? And they heard it. And at the end of the class, one of the fellows said to me, I can't wait for next Sunday. They're not even going to recognize me. But he got it. He saw that there's another way to look at things, you know? So as Catholics, we have a positive anthropology. That requires that we stop being so negative, all right? We have a sacramental mentality. What does that mean? Want to take a guess? It means we believe that there is more than just what meets the eye. Sacramental, transubstantial. We believe that inward experience, outward reality, inward reality, outward. All right? We believe in grace. We believe in sacramental grace. That when these interactions happen, we are forgiven. When we confess our sins, we are forgiven. They are washed away. We get a fresh start. We can go at it again. All right? That sacramental mentality. That's something that other faith traditions don't have. It's a blessing for us. That's why we celebrate our sacraments. And finally, we believe in human dignity. From conception to natural death. We believe in human dignity. All people, all faiths, all political affiliations, right? Across the board, we believe in the human dignity. Those 3 traditions out of, I think Tom Crooms mentions 9, but those are 3 that I said, whoa, those 3 can have an impact on family life incredibly, a really big impact. Does that make sense to you? All right? Are you all falling asleep? No? Okay. And then finally, how do we make Catholic happen? How do we make it happen? Number 1, we prepare. Number 2, we promote. And number 3, we practice. Now, the promote, I've got to tell you, because this can really make a difference. And I'm going to give you my email address because I want you to try this. I'm going to challenge you to try this. All right, let me give you my email address. I'm going to have to open up my... Oh, golly, I'm telling you, when the old brain goes, oh, it doesn't go slow, it goes fast. All right? No, it's not. It's H.J. Peckham, C-K-H-A-M, Heidi. LMHC at gmail.com. All right? Preparation. If you will take 15 minutes on a Saturday, I guarantee it'll make your Sunday morning different. Oh, does anybody have trouble getting their kids out to church on Sunday morning? I mean, I had 4 of them. Okay, so I'm not issues are still the same, all right? Number 1, you get a chair, and this is the Sunday morning chair, and on that chair goes the shoes, the socks, the dress, whatever they're going to wear to that church. There's CCD books, but they got their church chair, and that's where it's going to be. So they're prepared for it. You ask them, what time are we going to leave for it? You have a note. We're leaving it however long it takes you. You do that. But then you ask the child, where are we going to sit this Sunday in church? And you allow the child. You're empowering that child. You know that the child needs power and control. You got to give them choices. All right, this week you get to choose where we're going to sit. Well, we're going to bend that out. We're going to go to the right or to the left. To allow the child to do it. And what are we going to do after church on Sunday? Because there's got to be some kind of positive reinforcement. Making a child sit still without any kind of screen entertainment. So what are we going to do afterwards? We'll go for a walk. We'll do something fun. Visit the park, whatever. All right? So all of those things are written out on the chair. All right? So everybody knows what's going on. And then you get an app. Have you all got internet access? You get an app called Laudate.
That's a good, how you-
Yes, please, I'll let, I've got it, but I can't spell it. There you go. Laudate. Or you can go to the USCCB. And that's on my list of books here, USCCB. And just go for next Sunday's reading. Next Sunday's reading. Read it through, just the first reading, and if you can get through the second grade, and the gospel. And you want to pick up on something, any kind of words. For example, last Sunday's gospel, Jesus had the tent. So what kind of fun could you have with that? Oh, Jesus has got a tent. Do you think Jesus likes to go camping? Would you go camping with Jesus? I wonder if he's going to make s'mores. Okay, let's have s'mores. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be theology. You want to get them interested and listening for the words. It doesn't matter what it is. You don't have to be a theologian. But you won't believe the difference with the kids. I did it with my grandkids. And I think 8, 9, and they were all excited. Oh, Nana, you were right. He said just what you said he was going to say. Yeah, because it's like gospel reading. But if you give them you just got to whet their appetite. I have a friend, and I'd say, how's that saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Well, she always said, but you can put some salt in the fodder. And that's what you're doing. You're putting salt in that fodder when you go and just read. If you can't do the first reading, just go for the gospel. Do it anytime you can get it in there. At grace, at supper, bedtime, whatever you can do. Get it in there and pick out a funny word so that they'll be listening for that word. All right? Does that make sense to you? So that's what we talk about when we're preparing. When you prepare the kids for it, then they get ready. Just like for the sacraments, we go through 6 lessons or 6 weeks or whatever it is. But our liturgy, we don't do that. But a little bit of preparation, it'll make all the difference in the world. The second piece is promoting it. How do we talk about going to church? Oh, God, we got to go to church again. Oh, boy, I really would rather be sitting home watching all of those news shows or doing the laundry or going shopping. Well, I think most people do go to Costco. I drive by that place, and there's not a parking spot on Sunday morning. But how do we promote it? How do we talk about it? Are we being positive about it? Oh, I'm really looking forward to seeing who's sitting in that row this Sunday. Yeah, so we have to pay attention to how we promote it ourselves. I'm glad we're Catholic. Catholics get to do this. We get good music, those kinds of things. And then finally we have to practice because you can't get it right. It doesn't matter. You know, we're human, right? And that's what God loves us. Because really, when the good news is I'm a big sinner, we got it made. Right? Isn't that true? The good news is I'm a sinner. And I'm telling you folks, the more we recognize our own sinfulness, the easier it is in life. Because then you don't have to, you just don't have to do anything except be yourself. It kind of takes the pressure off. And because when you can own your own sinfulness, guess what? You can move into forgiveness of everybody else's sin. And forgiveness is really what it's all about. And Pope's telling us this with mercy. We can move into that mercy and forgiveness and kindness and be happy with it. Does that make sense? All right, any questions or comments so far? You haven't thrown anything at me? I'm going to bring you back to this little piece here. I haven't looked at my watch. Oh, God. Ooh, let me bring it back here. There we go. All right. Did I keep anybody from killing anybody? A little bit? How about some parenting pointers? Oh, thanks. Any parenting pointers? Did you get any parenting pointers? Hello? What's this one here? Reaching out to the community. Did you get that? Did you see that? About going to church together. Just being there makes a difference. Choosing right and wrong. Consequences. Allowing the children to accept the consequences of their choices. The most important thing. The most important thing. Bring me back and I'll do a whole program on it. Keeping them in church. I have to tell you, I had 4 children. 3 of them are practicing Catholics. Guess which one is not?
The youngest.
Yeah. But guess what? I'll stand right behind him and no one's going to speak ill of him. He's chosen. Everybody has their own path to God. We're not here to judge. It doesn't matter. All right? It doesn't matter.